Excellent. We did it. We're back. We're trying to grind through Malick's movies. We're still there. We're still here. We're still trying. So it's a success. Yeah. I'm glad we're doubling up. I think if we didn't double up, we would have quit the podcast by now. But yeah. 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 That's a lot. Five stars, right? Yes. How good is it? Nah, yeah. Well, we'll get into it. We got two Malick movies to talk. We got Airheads to talk for the movie chest this week, and then talk a little Hitman at the end. New movie. Richard Linklater. So yeah, let's get into it. Start with some Airheads. How about that? Noah, lead us in. This was your pick. Just fucking Airheads, man. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. He's popping. Young. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I feel that. I mean, immediately watching this one, I was kind of mind blown at the fact that it even existed. Like you said, the trio of actors that it is, it's like, I don't know, it almost doesn't feel like a real movie when I was watching it. you know? Hmm. Huge supporting cast. David Arquette's in there, like a lot of people. yeah. Yeah, I was kind of thinking like there might be a reason why we don't hear about this one as like a 90s classic, which just sucks, but oh, really? Hmm. Mm-hmm. Even like the cult classics in the 90s and stuff, like this one really flies under the radar. And I feel like you can find some like love in some of the other ones, like, I don't know, just like all of Adam Sandler stuff, or like even like shitty ones like Back to School or whatever with Rodney Dangerfield. I don't know. There's like more to those than this one, even. And this one just felt kind of mismanaged in the direction side of things, personally. Yeah, what actually one joke did land for me, and it was when David Arquette tries to get back in to the place he just escaped from, and he's like, "Well, you shouldn't." Steve Buscemi, he's like, "Come on, bro. Well, you shouldn't have escaped then." And he gets taken away by the police. And that was the only memorable moment for me. But yeah, it even has the actor who plays Chuck in Better Call Saul. What's his name? Uh, wow, I'm totally blanking on it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they give him Michael McKean, and they give him like moments of like comedy, and it's like just sad to watch it like just fall completely dead. I'm just like, oof. Uh, this I don't even know if like they had comic sensibility. Like they were doing Spinal Tap, they were doing shit. So like they had to have known that this one when they were delivering the lines, it was just like not there. I don't know. I feel that. Yeah. They took it too they took them too seriously, like you said. It's just flat. Like to me this script was probably decent, but like it to me it feels like it should have been like an SNL slapstick script, which it kind of has some of that. But then yeah, it's like trying to hit those moments, but then it falls back into like almost like Dead Poet Society like drama feel almost, where it's like I'm just like, what are you doing? No, don't do that. uh hmm. I mean, right, this one's like the 90s version trying to homage it. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. I found it pretty hard to yeah, go ahead. Yeah, could have used more pre-production on this one to really nail the characters or the story in some ways. I felt like early on I just didn't understand what the story was about. Like, and then they get to the heist of it all, and I'm just like, is this really what this movie is? Like, I was just like, I don't. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming it was supposed to be like a short-sighted attempt by dumb people, you know. But then like, it's not funny enough to like lift it, and it's not like a dramatic premise enough to be real. So it's like somewhere in the middle there that they didn't really have like the feel for. Yeah, yeah. And then they're all like buds halfway through, like they're all part of the party, and yeah, yeah. I mean, it was nice that like the guy who was the radio manager became their like band manager or whatever. I thought like it tied it up somewhat, but by the end of yeah, it doesn't feel any like there's no reality there. You know, it's just like I don't know, 90s shit. Like to me, it does feel like SNL adjacent kind of, but they never got the right like director on it. But it's a letdown. It's a letdown for sure. Yeah. It's just a bummer too, because like these actors are huge and they all like have done so much now, and it's like I guess maybe that's the difficulty. Yeah, right. It should be better. It's just not. But yeah, that's what the movie chest is about. You got to feel it out, figure it out yourself, right? Yeah. Honestly, though, I think I'm gonna give this movie like 2 stars. Yeah, it wasn't very successful in a lot of what it was going for, but yeah, could it go up though? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Congrats on it getting made. Yeah. Speaking of congrats on getting it made, what's that? Yeah, not Lester. He's like the campaign manager. What's his name? I forget. I don't remember. He's in House of Cards too. Yeah, Freddy, right? Freddy, yeah, yeah. Nice to see some people there. I mean, Harold Ramis too randomly shows up, and it's nice to see the faces. Chris Farley. Any movie that Chris Farley's in feels like a hidden gem, just because there's not like no more of them. But yeah, yeah, just some freaking Wayne's World. Yeah. Oh yeah, what was that guy's job? I didn't even know who that character was. Like, it's, yeah, fun to see him get into shenanigans. Hmm. Yeah, right. Yeah, strange compilation of the '90s, right there. Airheads. That's a movie. That's a strange one. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Speaking of movies and guys making them, should we get into our Malick picks this week? Just get this freaking show on the road. You didn't read the 500-page script I sent you? You don't know what it's about yet? Yes, I saw that. That's a work of a madman. Really? Yeah. I mean, we could just do a double feature for these ones because, to be quite honest, I don't have many distinct things to say about Voyage of Time. like, but anyways, yeah. Yeah, yeah. I was the most excited before we started this dive for Voyage of Time. Like, I was like, Malick's Planet Earth, that could be cool. And in Tree of Life, I'm like, that's pretty cool, And I'm like, yeah. And then you get to Voyage of Time, and it's just like so shit and like scattered and like, what did you think happened? They still are. What the fuck was she talking about? Yeah. Mother? Where have you gone to, mother? Interesting is a good word. Yeah. Now I'm just picturing Forrest Gump making movies. You know, like, is that it? That's what we're working with. Yeah, you got the access. Yeah. I've rearranged some of my rankings. I'm starting to recontextualize what I think like the right blend of Malick's skills are for what he's trying to do. I mean, now like these later movies though, he found his formula and he just won't stop. And I struggle like with the like condemning him for that because every filmmaker finds like their style and then like does it. But I guess like every other person's for the most part filmmaker style is like way more forgiving and just at bare minimum entertaining. You know what I'm saying? So like when you get to Malick and he just keeps doing the same thing, it's like, dude, I just don't give a shit. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Iterate on it. Let me drop one frame of audio every movie because it's my gimmick. Like it feels gimmicky with him, where it's like with other filmmakers, it's like, oh, I see what you're doing. With him, it's like you just did the fucking audio drop that you do every like like I don't know. Yeah, you should listen to some voices. Maybe the one in your head that's like, don't chase the butterfly and like get to work. You could listen to that voice too, but mm. use something. No, yeah, I mean this one, Night of Cups, I was like watching it and I was just like picturing Malik like driving around with the actors and just like stopping off on the side of the road and being like, "Okay, guys, you can walk around. Here we go." Like, yeah, like I was when Christian Bale and Kate Blanchett like go to the airport and are just like watching planes go overhead and stuff. I'm like, dude, that's like you see that in way like worse movies, and you like roll your eyes at like how childish that shit is. Like people don't do that. Like I don't know. Nobody does that shit. And I was like, I wrote it down a note. I was like, is Terrence Malick like just chasing women around in like apartment buildings all the time? Like, what is this? Is this his life? Is this what you think like reality is? Like, yeah, he keeps chasing women around and they keep trying to dodge and fucking duck and get under the covers and hide, but he doesn't take the hint. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Same here. I was thinking like if I rewatch any of these movies, I'd rather rewatch Night of Cups than To the Wonder and Voyage of Time. So. Mm-hmm. I think. Yeah. It's just all about a relationship falling apart or whatever. But like this one to me, like the LA part of the story actually like landed in a way that some of the other ones hadn't, where this guy's like just like wandering around LA with no purpose, which is like a little bit more truthful than like To the Wonder, where it's like Midwest angst in a relationship with a French woman who he met at him. You know, it's like, what? No, you know, like at least like in this one, you can just like latch on to some reality of the moments, like when he's in like a writer's room and stuff like that. Which Dan Harmon's in the movie. If you noticed, it's kind of wild. Yeah, cameo, but. I don't know. It's like his journey is more truthful than To the Wonder, for sure. No, I just feel like this one's like a little more justified in Malick's vision, just because of the character he chose, I guess, and the setting he chose. If I don't know, it's like a little more baked in, you know. Hmm. Yeah, I thought. Oh, I got more on Night of Cups. Don't you worry. Yeah. I just thought it made me think about the Tree of Life again, because in Night of Cups he starts like in space and he like is like moving into like Earth or whatever, and then it just cuts to Christian Bale, you know, like um. So I mean, you kind of feel like the formula's getting stale, obviously, but like in Tree of Life, I don't know like how much I respect the decision to do the two halves of those movies anymore, because like it's clear that he just kept wanting to do kind of stuff like that but having no like thematic link to the visual imagery that he's portraying anymore. So it's just like I put random space shit in and now I'm telling my story, and it's like I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I mean he wants it to be cosmic in a way that's like not at all what cosmically he's showing me. So it's like yeah, I should be asking that with an idea attached, not asking why the filmmaker thinks this. You know, like, but right, Christian Bale doesn't say like a goddamn word in this movie. And that's like a bold choice, I'd say. Like, I'm kind of like, wow, you made a protagonist that literally says nothing the whole movie, and we never fucking listen to him. Um, and I'm not gonna lie, not showing him from behind and like very rarely showing his face actually had kind of a cool effect for me. I feel like that filmmaking technique away from Malick's hands could be used pretty coolly. I don't know. I just pictured like using it for like a villain or like a mysterious character that you then show the face of later, and it's like, oh, it was cool, like not knowing him at first, but that's it. Hmm. 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 Yeah. At the bare minimum, out of this dive, probably more entertaining too. I'm trying to just like pull the filmmaking part of it to like out of this dive. I want to come away with like a couple techniques that I think are pretty successful that he's done. I would not stretch them into a movie, but I think like some of the way he cuts and some of the way he like frames stuff or like shows you a character is interesting. So it's like focus on that shit a little bit. You know, that's what I try to tell myself. Somewhat. I wrote down the chapters for this movie and I might have missed one, but we have the moon, judgment, the high priestess, lunch, and freedom. And can you tell me what any of those chapters have to do with any of the characters or the moments or the story that we saw? Right. I'm going to follow that thought to the very end. It's like, yeah. And now I'm feeling freedom. And now I'm thinking about the high priestess. It's like, what the fuck? There's the priest, a woman priest. She's high. The high priestess. Someone's going to track this. Yeah. I don't know. I just was like I was like, okay, the moon. First chapter, the moon. Interesting. Here we go. Second chapter, judgment. Okay, wow. It's the third chapter, the high priestess. Okay, so this is fucking gibberish. You know, like, I don't know. It's just dumb. It makes no sense. Yeah. And I guess it's like after a certain number of movies, I'm starting to like judge the movies on like the Malick scale now. So it's like, well, he's doing it his way, and he did it this way, and he did this thing. So I guess it's fine. But yeah, Ryan Gosling's in it. In the next one, that's great. People want to work with him. I think like, I mean, his last film is like a foreign film kind of feel. So maybe he burnt out all the goodwill. You know, like people thought that he had the interest, and then like these last 4 to 5 movies, people were just like, oh, well, maybe not. Mm, yeah, and then can't fool him again. Right now, the actors know, and they don't want to work with him anymore. Also, yeah, I don't remember what actor said, or I read this about. It was like He handed him a script and told him not to read it or something like that. It could have been Bale and it could have been other people too. It's just like, what are you thinking? I don't know. All right. I think it was also like his cinematographer or something. Like he like didn't tell him how he wants the scene to be shot or like what's gonna happen. It's just like I don't know, man. You're cool if you're just vibing, but you need some type of structure. Shit. Yeah. Getting into a field, listening to the grass rustle. That's what Malick loves. Loves it. And in Knight of Cups too, like I just kind of stopped listening to the voiceover even too after a while. I was just like I kind of tuned it out. Probably not good, but yeah. I was like, I think I might actually enjoy this more if I don't listen to this nonsense. Like, I don't know. Yeah, it is kind of affecting my rating a little bit. I've pushed around that movie, but I'll say another positive note about Knight of Cups. It's really the last thing I got is that whenever the characters are giving Christian Bale advice in that movie, it's literally like, "Yeah, this is what I've learned. This you got to do this," and it just fades out into nothingness because that's what he does. It always happens like right as they're like giving him perspective. So it's like, is he not listening? Is he just tuning them out? Is he just like, I don't know. I think it might be somewhat intentional for those moments. Like it's like, yeah, right. Or it just worked out. Right. I want to give him the credit to be like, yeah, he cuts the audio and drifts it out right as like the guy's getting into the meat of perspective, and it's like, then it moves on to the next scene. And he does kind of the same thing, so it's like maybe not, and maybe he's just fading out of every scene without any fucking goals. Yeah. Well, I think I'm gonna give Knight of Cups 3 stars. Too. It's like I find it hard to like to the Wonder is like so similar. Are they both just really bad movies, or are they just like Malick's attempts at like doing shit? Yeah. Now I'm lost. Yeah. Yeah, I guess we'll see at the end how we feel. Same here. Just a balancing act. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's not even like a real movie at a certain point. Like it's kind of like a video you'd watch in high school or like grade school. But then it's like if this was played to a high school or grade school, they'd be like, "What the fuck?" Like even they couldn't like understand. Like it just makes no goddamn sense, and it doesn't like there was like no connection thematically to anything I was visually watching. I was just like, "What am I? Am I just watching a series of images of fish? Like, is that really what I'm watching? Like, I love Planet Earth, but give me some goddamn structure." Mm-hmm. Like if you start at the beginning of the universe, show me like an explosion and show me like then like go from there. He's like he does a couple. Yeah, it's so out of order. Yeah. Well, I just like struggle with like there's like some like sperm imagery too and stuff. There's like weird little flip. I like those images are cool, but yeah, it's like the the order you place these in, it's like not checking out timeline. Like I don't I just like don't understand like how you can show me a couple fish and squids and then go to like sperm epic image. I'm just like, what are you? What? Yeah. What is life? It's chaos. And it's a lot of fucking sea creatures. Let me tell you that much. That's what life really is about. He did it again. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I will let's give it some due. Some of the shots very cool. I liked like the images of something like hovering with like a black frame around it. Decently cool. The underwater lava shots I thought were pretty magnificent. Those were pretty cool. Yeah. Um, she was kind of doing like the Lord of the Rings thing, which I was just like, man, I don't know about this. And I saw that there's like a 45-minute version of this movie because I think it was supposed to be shown in like IMAX. Yeah, that's probably a way better version, honestly. It's got to be. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. I mean, you've cut out at least half of the random images, so you have less time to think about how shit it is. No, yeah, I don't need to. Definitely not. I think that Malick just needs to make like a weird ass sci-fi movie. That's my advice for him in the future. Is like just show me a random planet with weird ass life forms that have terrible communication issues and they're seeing things out of time or some shit. So then you can just really go full fucking Malick into it and just not give a shit about anything cutting wise. And I don't know. I mean, he's like halfway there with like the planet Earth dinosaurs and shit. I don't know. Just abandon Earth, go to your own fucking planet and do whatever the fuck you want, man. That's my advice. Yeah. Yeah. Set up shop. Oof. Yeah. He's got, I think his last movie was in like 2019 or something, right? Or like 2020. So he's taking a little bit of a break at least. Okay. So it's just gonna be random Jesus imagery with no fucking like who? He's playing Jesus? He's too old for Jesus. Well, some older people. You or is it going to be Jesus talking talking to God and like, yeah, which route's it going to be? That's a good bet. Just know that when we get through that one, it's the end. Like the light at the end of the tunnel. That's good to hear. Hmm. Even the Thin Red Line, really? I feel like that's like peak popularity. Okay. I think this it just dies when you get outside of film circles. Like these nobody like you can't recommend these movies to anyone who isn't like fully invested in just like understanding new filmmakers and stuff like that. You know, like hello. Yeah. Because of them. Yeah. It's for science. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I know Mike Flanagan. It's like he's like one of his favorite filmmakers. So that he's got dedicated people who really like his shit. But um, yeah. Just like visuals. He writes so much dialogue. It's like, yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. Like you have to like, I don't know, man. That's why I love like screenwriting and stuff. Though is like it's about like following the thread of your whim, but it's also about like coming back to like the form and like knowing what the audience expectations are and like getting on the track and like feeling the pace and stuff like that. That's what I love about movies. And it's like So if you'd have no care for that, like, cool, but like at the same time, I'm not. I shouldn't care then, because like, well, you don't give a fuck. So like, yeah, character story. We need something. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have like any of it. So it's like, someone stop him. But did we? Yeah, right. Smited. Did we give her? I think I'm gonna. I think I gave it 2 stars. Yeah. My joke review on Letterboxd was that I learned basically nothing about more about the universe. Like I'm more confused about what I'm supposed to think. Like, yeah, it makes no sense. Yeah. Yeah. Well, what do you guys want to do for the next filmmaker? Well, we could talk for Hitman. Um, yeah, me too. Me too, for sure. Yeah, it's nice. Hmm. I will reach into Malick's basket if I was ever a filmmaker to pull specific things out. Definitely not anything of a whole, but like I can see some things for sure. Um, yeah, Nolan Villeneuve, or whatever. Honestly, I kind of want to do Linklater. I don't want to push it if nobody's on board, but like, yeah, he's got a lot of at least entertaining movies. It looks like, and they're like of a variety. They're pretty different overall. So it's like that could be cool. Not that many movies, but it is like probably maybe 15 to 20. Mm-hmm. Oh shit! Definitely right. He makes them theatrical somewhat. Yeah, he'd be fun. Yeah, he'd be cool. I don't. I mean, I don't know if you want to call it now, unless you guys are really on board. We can think. We can take time, but he's an interesting one. Oh God, I'm just scared. I'm putting it off. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's do. That's a good idea. We need a palate cleanser now. We don't want to go straight into the shit again. You know, we want to. Hmm. Oh God. Oh God. Um, Yeah, man, something to feel good. If Malick interests you though, it'd be fun. Yeah, a little more dark, I think, a little more like dramatic. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. If you do like Malick's stuff though, it's somewhat, and you're like, I wish it was better structurally or entertainment wise, I would check out Aronofsky's stuff. He makes very like emotionally driven character movies that actually are like of a fucking like idea. And it's like I can get on board for that shit. I'm thinking back to his movies. And I'm like, those are pretty good, like better than some other shit. A lot. He does like morality, religion, and stuff. He gets to like belief, stuff like that. And then just like relationship about like character relationships. A lot of talking, a lot of just like good filmmaking too. Like The Wrestler is one with Mickey Rourke, and that's just like a character study on an old ass wrestler dude, and you're just like with him the whole time. You feel like his situations, and there's like action sequences that are like really raw and shit. So it's I might rewatch this shit. Yeah, it's been like a few months, so it's alright. Yeah, that's fair. It's fine. Like similar, like he has endings that you're just like, holy fuck, he went there. But it's like looking back, it's like kind of like it. I kind of respect it. You know, I don't know. He swings for the fences, and unlike Malick, he can actually reach the fences. He's using a bat, so that's nice to see. Yeah, probably. Hey, nice. Yeah, hell yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Can you make it epic? Hmm. He has a script or idea. That's what he said. Whether it will ever be financed. Hmm. Yeah, I'm glad it's hitting. Yeah. Hmm. It's a different attempt. Hmm. It almost feels like a Game of Thrones season, and then like Fury Road was like the Battle of the Bastards, you know, where it's like very contained action scene. This is like the exploration of all the stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. For sure. Probably. Well, no, next week. We'll be on vacation, so take next week off. But we'll finish Malik after we get back. Yeah. Another week. We just gotta live with it for another week. All right, man. I'll talk to you later. Yeah, man. Yeah. I didn't know he wrote it, Glenn Powell. That's interesting. I did like this movie. Um, didn't know what I was in for, and I kind of liked that about it. So it took you on places you didn't think you'd be going into before you start the movie. Kind of subverts a lot of stuff. Right. Yeah. Not really a movie like it, which is a highlight, I'd say. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. It's got the crime backbone for sure. Hmm. Yeah. There's a fantasy. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, everybody's all about Glenn Powell now. I mean, he's like the next it guy, I'd say. Um, I don't know if I like fully buy in. Just I'm like, I need to get to know somebody before I'm like, they're the best person I've ever met in my life. It's like, yeah, let me get to know them a little bit, and I'll see what they're really like. But no, I mean, this is a good stepping stone, I'd say, for him. I think like he's got the looks, obviously, and he's got in this one. It shows you he's got the chops. Like, I mean, he's got so many different characters he's trying to do. They're all kooky and weird, and he fully commits to each one, and they're all very distinct. And he blended into like a couple of them, which I was like, holy shit! Like, I didn't know he could go there, you know. So that's cool. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, and he starts like teaching with more confidence over time, you know, and you kind of feel that happening. Yeah, I thought too, like the characters are very like fake. Obviously, they're very like costumed or whatever and cartoony, but the way that he plays them, or the way that like the character or like they chose to like portray that specific person, that person is like they're kind of real. I was like, I know that guy, you know, like so it was like a very fine line that they threaded of like fun character that we just want to have a good time with, and oh shit, that's my cousin who's like out shooting skeet or whatever the fuck, you know. It's like, oh okay, yeah. He did. What was, I guess, like what was your favorite? Because that might be my favorite disguise or whatever. Mm, mm. I think the one he blended into the most was like the jacket one. He has like the orange hair or whatever, and he's got like the accent. I was like, holy fuck. I mean, the makeup does a lot of good like work for that, but I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy. It's just fun too. Like the character that he's playing. Um, the movie got so much life injected into it when you realize like the first time he's put into the interrogation situation that he's just like is naturally gifted at it, and it just like comes on. That's like it was like a really lean in moment for me, because like you think you know where it's like going, and that's like the movie does that maybe like another 6 to 8 times, where it's like you think it's kind of going that way, and it just like takes the hard left, and it's like, no, we're gonna do it this way instead, and just like see how that feels. Mm-hmm. Yeah, what would I do? Yeah, just bury me in a cornfield. That's what I used to say. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. It's done with like, I keep coming back to this for some, like, in our modern filmmaking viewing experience, is like you can tell it has a voice. I need to feel, I need to hear like someone in command or in control. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't have to like fully agree with them all the time, or like obviously you would do things differently or want things to happen differently, but as long as like the person's tailoring the journey on their guidance, thank you, thank you. Like, this is a very nice modern movie. Like, it's like one that like people can watch with their significant other, and then like it's still got the blockbuster appeal of like what you want to see out of like a movie star, or like as a Linklater movie, or just like any like Netflix movie. I mean, like I feel like this can like cover a lot of different areas as far as audience goes too. So, hmm, right, feels good. Holy fuck, right? Actors matter, like the yeah, people behind the fucking yeah, yeah. Hmm. Hmm. How to adapt? Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I like that ending a lot. I think it like fits with the like seize your identity thesis or whatever. Like, that's what he says before they take the test at the end or whatever. It's like these two people on the fringes of society, and it, like the crazies just checked out a little bit and they made it work and they committed, and then now like it's just like interesting too that they jump forward to see their kids and stuff like that. Like, it just makes you have a perspective on like parents or like people like hiding things but having this huge back history that they can never fully like explain to their kids because they'll never understand, or they just can't tell them the truth or whatever. But like, that's just such an interesting idea to end the movie on. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, she's got to put on the laugh. Yeah. Hmm. Well, it's like they're like decent people, which is like what's nice about following them is like you kind of enjoy them as who they are, and they're not bad people, but they get into these situations that force them to like adapt or choose their fates and like what they're okay with or whatever, I guess. And I don't know. It's like it's an interesting like question to pose onto an American audience member or just an audience member nowadays, where it's like if you met this love of your life or whatever, and you get into this like shenanigans, and then like the person who's like gonna bust your whole life open and send you to jail and stuff like that is here, and you have like all opportunity to just like get away with it and kill him. It's like I think a lot of people would choose like things that they never thought they could do before, and like I don't know. It's interesting to like push the characters that far and then reel them back in to still be like people we root for. Yeah. There's a there's a line that he says when he's teaching that he's like at the at the base of it all, it's all about just like self-preservation and survival. And it's like that's kind of what happened at the end is like you just survival mechanisms kicked in and it's like that's how I'll get away with it and live my life. So is it that? Is it the relationship? Is it you trying to change and be like this badass version of yourself because now you can or whatever? It's a lot of like different things roped in. Yeah. Hmm. Right. Yeah. Really, there's like a smart layering. I felt a little bit of like disconnect in the two sides of the story, which is like this mundane teacher, this undercover badass. The flipping between those two felt a little too like unrealistic to me. It's like that guy doesn't. That's not a real guy. Like so. I felt a little bit of that, but it was. I mean, and I wrote a note too. I was like, this movie feels a little long, but like not in a bad way. It's like I kind of felt like I needed all the scenes here, and I wasn't like waiting for the movie to end. I just was feeling the time pass, I guess. Um, but yeah, I mean, the writing just overshadows a lot of that. And I think on rewatch too, like it might be nice to kind of thread the themes a little back into your mind again now that you kind of know where it's going. Um, yeah. Mm, yeah. I think the entertainment value is like underrated, I guess, in the movie. Like, there's the burger scene, the burger shop scene, or where they're eating ice cream or whatever, and then the dude shows up and he's like, "There's so many angles being played in that scene of like what who knows what. This guy knows this. I'm playing this role for this person. This person thinks that this person's this person in my life, but they're actually not this person." So it's like you got to really like be tuned into that, and I was 100%. It's like the movie led you there and then it crossed the streams perfectly and it like kept you like on the edge of your seat in ways. He's following him, so he was already there to like fuck with them, it seems like. Yeah. And just like smart like dialogue stuff too. There's a scene where she's like asking how many he's done or whatever, which to me that's a question that you'd ask on an early date in regards to like sex, like how many people have you been with? But in this story, it's how many people have you killed? Even though it like isn't the same time that she would be asking that type of question. It's just really smart, I think, like asking these certain specific things in the relationships, and she's like, how do you get away with it? To me, it's like commentary on cheating too in this, where it's like you're hiding this thing from somebody and they have rules that you can't go to their house and shit like that, and it's like you just buy in because you like the person or you believe the person or whatever. But mm, right, yeah. Hmm. I was thinking about Breaking Bad. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Right. Somewhere between Lila and Rita, that's where uh, Gary falls. You know, he's like kind of truthful, kind of still playing the bit. Hmm. Oh yeah, Hannah. Yeah, that's true. That's more like her. Yeah, for sure. Hannah, I think that's the name. But yeah, but yeah, I was thinking about Breaking Bad. Like it's like this kind of mundane dude who's like starting to get into like the more seedy parts of the town or seedy parts of the job. Um, and I thought what was unique about Hitman too is like um in Breaking Bad when Walt's like putting on his lies, you can like kind of like feel Bryan Cranston kind of like creating that gap of truth where it's like yeah, he's kind of you can kind of see him lying or like hear it and feel it that he's like coming into the zone of lies. With Glenn Powell, it's like he was so good at lying that it's like I think it made the movie more interesting where every time he's like in these situations like at the police station where he's like trying to like he has so many things to think about and he's like trying not to like say that he's like met the girl or whatever or knows the girl, his lies just like breeze by because he's so good at it. And like I don't know, there's something in that performance that makes the movie's engines go faster because it's not like telegraphed that he's lying. It's not like we as the audience can't feel him like leaving that gap of like a lie that somebody could pick up on. It's like very well done in the movie and in that dude's situation to lie. So it's like it was just nice. It was a different lying technique in this movie. It felt like. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. Yeah, you really find your niche where you belong. Yeah. Another negative note: movie did not need narration. Didn't need it. Didn't need it. I mean, it was only at the beginning, and there was one line like three quarters of the way through, and it was like, oh yeah, I forgot that there was narration in this movie. He's like, I left or I went in as Ron, and you better believe I left as Gary. It's like, dude, I know you fucking left as Gary, man. Like, god damn, like, I didn't need it, but yeah, nice. It's always a fine line with narration. If you need it, if you want it, does it help? Yeah, he's destroying the principles. That's That's true. Yeah. Like we're in this guy's mind, but I just think sometimes you could show me that show me this dude's life in this mind without like hearing it. And you have enough teacher scenes where it's like you could easily just like play those or like add a little couple character lines in to like show you what he really thinks and then we would kind of get it, but maybe that's just me. Mm. Mm. Yeah. Hmm. Well, I think I get that. I think that kind of goes to like what I thought about the movie, which was you can feel Linklater trying to go a little more broad than some of his other ones that I've seen. Like it feels like he intentionally added some of those lines like that to kind of lead the audience into like an easier sense. And then there's like very broad moments of comedy with Retta mostly and just like lines like, can we turn the air up? Yeah. It's just like comic relief. We need to keep like the tone kind of like at this optimal spot. And it's like, it feels like blockbustery in ways or like modern in ways where it's like we've written three scenes of this tone. Now we need like to explain it and get this little comedy beat here and then move, you know. So, mhm, for sure. I feel that. I was going back and forth in my ratings on this one. I think I'm going to land at 4 stars. I was thinking 3.5. I don't know. I think on a rewatch too, I might enjoy it more. But also, I think it's just like hard to latch onto at first because when you go in expecting one thing, you don't get any of that. You know, like which is nice. It's just like you got to kind of adjust afterward to like like feel out what you just experienced, I guess. Which I don't know. It's nice. I thought too. Like, sorry, like there's like the ROM part of it. It's very much there, and I like it a lot. And the movie's kind of like steamy and like sizzling at times, and it's like very enticingly like hot. So, mhm, yeah, yeah, and pretending that body parts are documents. That's what he's really into, man. Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. Mm, nice. That's cool, man. Yeah, that's good. I think if we do link later, I think this will be a pretty fun dive. He can like surprise you and then kind of just like give you different movies that you never thought you'd want to see. But here we are, you know. Okay. Yeah. Hmm. Nice. That's cool. Hmm. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. I think you have like Linklater's like character stuff and his like world is like Texas Southern world. And I didn't listen to the interview or anything, but like you can feel Glenn Powell probably pulling it to like stardom. He's like, I need this main character to be this way so that like the audience will rally behind me and like because I feel like you can feel the character's very like lame, but he's also really cool, and it's like I don't know. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, more suave. Mm. Mm. Right. So kind of elevating it to like that cool guy level. I think that's probably what he was focusing on some of the his efforts too, which is to movie success. I saw he produced it's like a documentary movie about like the pilots that fly like the fast jets that were part of the Top Gun Maverick crew or something. I think it's on Amazon. Yeah, so he's a producer. He's going after it, acting, producing, writing. You'd love to see it. Yeah, he took the notes. Definitely. Yeah, it's been a while for 2024. It's since Challengers, I think that was my high moment. So I need to get back there. I'll put it on my list. Nice, nice. Okay, yeah, I'll check it out. Yeah, okay, more digestible. Okay, cool. That's an interesting movie. Whoa, that is weird. Mm. Yeah, it's like okay, I think we understand what this movie's about or like how it's operating. Nice, that's fun. Yeah, I'll definitely give that a watch. Yeah, should we sign off? All right, man. Well, good talking. Take a week off. We'll be back the week after to finish up Malick. And then if you wanted, if we got time to do a movie chest, I think it's your pick, right? So let us know. It's up to you, I guess. Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. We could, we'll talk more, I guess, if we want to do link later or not. But I'd be down to do like link later, obviously, but then kind of chug through a couple like smaller filmographies after that too. So, mhm. Yeah. It's not the audience we want, though. Oh my god, dude, we're gonna get psychopaths. Yeah, yeah. I mean, up to you, man. I don't give a shit. If you want to do it, do it. If not, we'll just talk more on when we can do Guadagnino. Right. Also, I was thinking too, we could not do as many movie chests in the future, and then do either double director dives every week or two different directors every week. So we'll talk more. Yeah, I'd be down. I'd be down for that. Yeah, let's just get like some structure into it, and I'd be on board. I was thinking too, like I want to talk like 5-star movies and stuff, but I also was thinking it could be cool to talk about like 4.5-star movies that we are like toying with bringing to 5. I don't know. I was thinking about like Palm Springs and like Gone Girl, and I'm like, man, if I watched or talked about these one more time, I might move this to 5. You know, so it's like, right, right. I really dig into like, is it worth it or not? You know, like, that could be cool. Yeah. Mm. Mm. Yeah. Argue it out. I'd be down. Just make like a note or something about like premise discussions, you know, and we can like start to chisel away at some and add some in. Cool. All right, man. I gotta sign off. I gotta go like pack and shit still. So, ah, man. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. Peace out.